Welcome everyone to our Blues Christmas service, and this is a time where you can bring, well, hopefully every service that we have, you feel comfortable bringing all of who you are, but this one in particular, and we think a lot about our grief at this time and sadness, and on top of us mostly having to stay home this year is a little different than even the usual depressions and griefs that we have at this time. So you're invited to bring all of that. And the top of the page, the top of this post has the full bulletin for you to follow along. So you may sing along as you wish. And we are going to start off with the first verse of Come Thou Long Expected Jesus, followed by some silence, and followed by another song. Friends, the Psalm 27 tells us to wait for the Lord, wait for God, and for those of you who do not believe in God, wait for hope, wait for love. And this kind of waiting is not stagnant, it's not without action. And often when we have this, we're in these spaces of deep grief, despair, isolation, loneliness, fear, often it can feel like it overwhelms us and it can take us over so that we don't even know ourselves otherwise. And so this particular Wait for the Lord, we will be singing twice. Some of you may know it already, as I wrote it yesterday, recorded it yesterday. But I invite you, especially if you are struggling with maybe relapse or possibly desire urges to hurt yourself, or someone else, I invite you to sing this song to yourself or say these words to yourself and just wait. And waiting is something that happens a lot in Advent, and it's certainly been an especially strange kind of waiting for many of us this year, as even funerals and memorial services, we have to wait to really gather to celebrate the life of a loved one. And that can really feel like a stab in the chest. Like, not only is it so bad that the person we cared about so deeply is gone, but now we can't be with other people who cared about that person too, or at least not in the same way that we would have before. And so waiting is something we've been doing all year. And many people have been waiting their entire lives for justice or grace or a sense of belonging. And so when we talk about waiting for God, let's also remember that those times, which thank goodness we're not all in, although we're pretty close now, but mostly we're not all in that pit of despair at the same time. So we need to remember those who are there. And even if you're not there right now, remember those who are there, and think on how you can be present for them so that their waiting will be not a waiting of isolation, but a waiting in the presence of God, God's self and love. And so here is the song. Just try this in the correct key. Wait for the Lord, wait for the Lord, wait for the Lord, wait for the Lord. Be strong, let your heart take courage. Be strong, let your heart take courage. Be strong, let your heart take courage and seek God's face. Wait for the Lord. Seek God's face. Wait for the Lord. Be strong, let your heart take courage. friends, there have been some wrong things, wrong theologies, wrong ideas put out there about when we are in our states of deep grief and sadness, and how we talk to God about that. And the Psalms teach us that it is perfectly okay for us to question God, to cry out to God, to remind God who God is, to remind God to come forward and show God's self. And so this one is from Psalm 13, and I will have Jim read the psalm as I play through it, and then we will sing it together.
How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I bear pain in my soul and have sorrow in my heart all day long? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. Give light to my eyes, or I will sleep the sleep of death, and my enemy will say, I have prevailed. My foes will rejoice because I am shaken. But I trusted in your steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord, because the Lord has dealt bountifully to me. Hear now our opening prayer. God of abundant mercy, you have given us grace to pray with one heart and one voice, even though our hearts are broken and our voices tremble with grief and sorrow. Comfort, comfort, Lord, your holy people. Comfort those who sit in the arms of despair, mourning near our sorrow's load. Speak to us of the peace that awaits us, of the balm of healing for our weary and wounded souls. We ask all this, trusting in the promise you have made to hear the prayers of 2 or 3 who have gathered in the name of your holy child, Jesus. Amen.
So friends, we'll be singing the first 2 verses of It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. And I'm having some issues with my voice, so I may not be singing. Hopefully you'll be able to sing along okay. come with peaceful wings unfurled, and still their heavenly music floats o'er all the weary world. Above its sad and lowly plains, they bend on hovering wing, and ever o'er its babble sounds the blessed angels sing.
Selected verses from Isaiah 40. Comfort, comfort my people, says your God. Speak to the heart of Jerusalem and call to her that the time of service is ended. Look up to the heavens. Who made the stars, if not the one who drills them like an army, calling each one by its own name? So mighty is God's power and strength that not one fault fails to answer. Israel, why then do you complain that our God does not know your troubles or care if you suffer injustice? Our God, the everlasting God, the creator of the farthest parts of the earth, never grows tired or weary. No one can fathom the depths of God's understanding. God gives power to the faint and strength to the powerless. That they wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength.
So friends, another psalm, Psalm 27, it invites us to ask God, or maybe tell God to listen to us. And so I invite you into this kind of moment of prayer. You may read along with the psalm out loud if you wish, and sing along with me. We've done this song before. And Psalm 27, and we will end this again with the wait for the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry out loud, be gracious and answer me. Come, my heart says, seek God's face. Your face, O God, I seek. Do not hide your face from me. Do not hide, do not hide. Do not hide your face from me. Do not hide, do not hide. Do not hide.
The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers assail me to devour my flesh, my adversaries and foes, they shall stumble and fall. Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war rise up against me, yet I will be confident. One thing I asked of the Lord, that will I seek after, to live in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in God's temple.
Hear, O Lord, when I cry out loud, be gracious and answer me. Come, my heart says, seek God's face. Your face,
For the Lord will hide me in God's shelter in the day of trouble. God will conceal me under the cover of God's tent. God will set me high on a rock. Now my head is lifted up above my enemies all around me, and I will offer in God's tent sacrifices with shouts of joy. I will sing and make melody to the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry aloud. Be gracious to me and answer me. Come, my heart says, seek God's face. Your face, Lord, do I seek. Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in anger, you who have been my help. Do not cast me off. Do not forsake me, O God of my salvation.
Hear, O Lord, when I cry out loud. Be gracious and answer me. Come, my heart says, seek God's face. Your face, O God, I seek. Do not hide your face from me. Do not hide, do not hide, do not hide your face from me. Do not hide, do not hide, do not hide.
If my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will take me up. Teach me your way, O Lord, and lead me on a level path because of my enemies. Do not give me up to the will of my adversaries, for false witnesses have risen against me, and they are breathing out of violence. I believe that I shall see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait on the Lord, be strong, and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord.
At this time, we will share our prayers. So we'll do this differently than we usually do it on our Sunday evening services. Usually there's a little bit of interaction back and forth, but you will be invited just to take some moments of quiet reflection and response. There's a response in here, and the response is, and in your merciful love answer. In your merciful love answer. And this prayer, the source of this prayer is listed here, and I've adapted it slightly. So will you pray with me? God, we come to you as Christmas dawns with pain growing inside us. As the nights have been growing longer, so has the darkness wrapped itself around our hearts. In this season of our longest nights, we offer to you the pain in our hearts, the traumas that some of us cannot put into words. Loving God, hear our prayer, and in your merciful love, answer. Compassionate God, there are those among us who are grieving over what might have been, and so many of us grieving over what was, longing for connection with family and friends that we cannot have this time of year, longing for connection for a loved one that was with us just a bit ago, who was healthy and fine, and then they got sick. Longing for that time when maybe we could more deeply understand whether it was us who made them sick. We are dealing with a grief and a despair and a longing that we have no previous experience with. God, we ask that you hear our prayer and in your merciful love answer. And compassionate God, we grieve over a death or loss that has changed our experience of Christmas. Once it was a special day for us too, but someone has died or moved away, or we have lost a job or a cause. We find ourselves adrift, alone, lost. God, help us find our way. Loving God, hear our prayer, and in your merciful love, answer. The Christmas season reminds us of all that used to be and cannot be anymore. The memories of what was, the fears of what may be, stifle us. All around us we hear the sounds of celebration, but all we experience is a sense of feeling blue. Please be near us this night. Loving God, hear our prayer, and in your merciful love, answer. This time you are invited, whether you are with us live or watching this later, to put in the comments your prayers or your thanksgivings, and or to just say them out loud wherever you are. We will have a few moments of silence for this, and then we will sing verse 3 of It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Life's crushing load, whose forms are bending low, with painful steps and slow. Look now, for glad and golden hours come swiftly on the wing. Oh, rest beside the weary road and hear the angels sing. Our Creator, Father and Mother of us all, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Do not abandon us into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. So friends, there are psalms of lament, and there are also psalms that remind us of hope. And so we're going to end our service with a song for Psalm 126 that we did this Sunday, and so maybe some of you will remember that. And we won't read the psalm, we'll just sing the song. The lyrics are, "When the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion, we were like those who dream. Then our mouth was filled with laughter, and our tongue with shouts of joy. Then it was said among the nations, the Lord has done great things for them. Restore our fortunes, O Lord, like the watercourses in the Negeb. May those who sow in tears reap with shouts of joy." So this psalm is a reminder for us to look back and think on times when maybe it wasn't as bad, maybe times when we felt a glimmer of hope and joy, not to change how we feel now, but just as a reminder that joy is real, that peace is real, that love is real, and hope are real, that we have once before, whether it was looking at a sunrise or a sunset, or looking in the eyes of someone that we love and care about, or even laughing at a movie, something that made us feel alive and whole and not so afraid and not so sad. And so this is that reminder for us, just to go back and know that God, just as God did for the Israelites, God will for us remind us and bring us back to a place of joy. So you should be able to pick up pretty quickly the refrain, which we sing a few times in this. When the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion, we were like those who dream. When the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion, we were like those who dream. Then our mouth was filled with laughter, and our tongues with shouts of joy. Then it was said among the nations, the Lord has done great things for them. The Lord has done great things. When the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion, we were like those who dream. When the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion, we were like those who like the water